Good morning, children. Again, we'll continue with the chapter frequency distribution. If you remember, in the previous lecture also, we studied or we discussed about the frequency distribution, in which I told you how to classify the data and how to organize the data in the form of statistical series. Now again here we will continue with the cumulative frequency distribution. Now let me recall what we studied in the previous chapter in brief. In the previous chapter I told you that statistical series can be arranged in three forms: individual series, discrete series and continuous series. In the case of individual series, no frequency is given and details about individual values are given in the data, right? Whereas in the case of discrete and continuous series, the frequency of the given data is given, or frequency of the given values is given, and you have to arrange the data in the form of discrete and continuous variables. And then when you are arranging the data, there are two ways: inclusive method and exclusive method, what we discussed earlier. So in the simple frequencies, or in the simple frequency distribution, always the frequencies are given, and you can just make it yourself that whenever the word frequency is given, simple frequency distribution, that means the frequencies are given along with the variable or values, right? Now in the cumulative frequency distribution, this is another term. Now what do you mean by cumulative frequency? Cumulative, as the word denotes, it is a added form of frequency. The frequencies are added together in progressively. That means each and every frequency we keep on adding and we show the cumulative added value of the frequency. This is known as cumulative frequency distribution. Now here you can see the cumulative frequency. I have given here frequencies are added and expressed in the cumulative form. So in the cumulative frequency distribution, frequencies are added and expressed in the cumulative form, right? So these are important points. In the cumulative frequency, whenever the cumulative word is there, you just make up in your mind that cumulative means the added frequencies, right? So here frequencies are added and expressed in the cumulative form. This is known as cumulative frequency distribution. Now let me give you an example here. You can see here the class interval is given, first column, second column frequency, and third column I have given you cumulative frequency. This is denoted as CF. This is a short form of cumulative frequency. Here this is an imaginary data what I have taken. Class is 10 to 20, then 20 to 30 and so on. And in this case I have taken the interval of 10, that is equal class interval. And in the class interval of 10 to 20, the frequency is 4. What does it mean? It means that in this class interval there are 4 number of people, or 4 number of, you can say, frequencies. Frequency, any variable what you are given. Suppose you are taking the marks and the number of students. So this shows that in class interval of 10 to 20 we have 4 number of students. Same way 20 to 30, 6 and so on. So frequency, as I told you earlier also, it is the number of times an item appears in the series. So here the frequency is given and the class is given. This is class or class interval, that is the same thing. Now here when you are making the cumulative frequency, then you have to add up these frequencies. First one is 4 and in this column first figure you will write down 4 because there is no figure to be added up previous to it. So, first will be 4. This means that in the class interval of 10 to 20 there are total 4, right. Now 20 to 30 there are 6. You will add up this 4 to 6 and you get 10. What does it mean? That in the class interval 10 to 30 now you have 10. First it was 10 to 20 there were 4, now 20 to 30 when you add up then it becomes 10 to 30. This is the lower limit and this is the upper limit. So, between 10 to 30 we have 10, that is 4 plus 6, that is 10. This is the cumulative form of it. Again the next one you will keep on adding like this. 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 15 is 35, 35 8 is 43, and this way we get 50. This is known as cumulative form of frequency, and whatever last figure you will get here, this is 50, this will be the total of this. This is a cross check, that means you have added up the frequency in a proper order. You have not missed any calculation or any frequency. So, this way the cumulative frequency are formed. Now, we will take the 2 types of cumulative frequency. This I have given you class interval of 10 to 20 and 20 to 30 and so on. Now, 2 types of cumulative frequency are, one is less than and second is more than. So, there are 2 methods of calculating cumulative frequency. One is called less than method, another is more than method. Now, why do we have to take these 2 methods? What is the use of it? You must be thinking in your mind that why to have the less than and more than. What is the use? Let me tell you that when you are learning frequency graphs in the later chapters, then you will understand that we need less than method and more than method of cumulative frequency to plot the graph, right. And let me tell you again that one more thing, that cumulative frequency, these are also needed when you are calculating measures of central tendency. That means averages, or you can say mean, median, mode, or you can say quartile deviation, etc. All these type of calculation when you are doing, that we will do in the later chapters, then whenever you are doing all these type of calculation, then cumulative frequency will make your calculation easier. So, the data is compacted in the form of cumulative frequency, and there are 2 methods, less than and more than. Now, we will see what do we mean by less than method and more than method, and how do we apply these 2 methods. First, we will take less than method. Now, what is less than method? In this method, we start with the upper limit of the classes and go on adding the frequencies. As I told you, class interval has 2 limits. One is called lower limit and second one is upper limit. Lower limit is L1 and upper limit is L2, right. Now, here in less than method we start with the upper limit. Why do we start with the upper limit? Because we are saying less than particular limit. We are not taking more than particular limit, but we are taking less than particular limit, and then we have to take the upper limit, less than the upper limit. And when we take this form, the upper limit, then we go on adding the frequencies. And in the more than method, we start with the lower limit, because we have to take that what is more than the lower limit. And then in this form, the frequencies are subtracted from the frequencies of each class. This will be clear when we take the example of this. Then you will be able to understand how do we calculate less than and more than. Now here come to this part. This is less than method and second is more than method. Now suppose the class interval is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, so on till last one is 40 to 50, and the frequency is given here. Total number of frequencies are 60. Now when we have to convert this into less than, then as I told you, we have to take the upper limits, right? We have to first take the upper limits. Now here in this case, what are the upper limits? 10 is the upper limit, right? 10 is the upper limit. Second is 20 is the upper limit. So these are the upper limits. Now when we are taking the upper limit, then we have to say less than 10. 10 is the upper limit. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, these are the upper limits. So here we have to say less than 10. Now 0 to 10 there are 4. So how many are less than 10? Obviously 10 is the upper limit, so less than 10 are 4. Clear? Now second limit, less than 20. Now how many are less than 20? Now when we say less than 20, we are taking the upper limit of 20, but we are not indicating the lower limit. It is obvious here, less than 20 means 0 to 20. Less than 20 means whatever figure is there below 20. So between 0 to how many are there? 4 plus 8. So less than 20, you have to write down 4 plus 8, that is 12. Is that clear to you? So this means that less than 20 there are 4 plus 8, less than 30 will be between 0 to 30, again 4 plus 8 plus 15, that is 27. This way we cumulate the frequency on the basis of the upper limit, and when we calculate it on the basis of upper limit, it is called less than method, and we go on adding the frequency like this. And again the last figure here will be the same as the total of frequency. Have you followed? So this is the less than method. We go on adding the frequency. I will repeat here. We start with the upper limit of the classes and go on adding the frequency. I think you must have followed by now. Now second we come to more than method. Now I am taking here very simple examples, not complicated figures, very simple figures for you, so that you can understand the method of calculation in a simple and easy way. There may be complicated figures also when you are actually doing or classifying the data, but here for understanding purpose, these simple figures will make a clear impact in your mind that how it is calculated. So I have taken very simple examples, and with these examples try to understand the concept, what does it mean and how the method is applied. And I am sure if you take the simple example and try to understand it step by step, you will be interested in knowing more of it and you will be able to follow it clearly, right? Now second we are going to more than method. As I told you, there are two methods of calculating cumulative frequency. Less than we have done. Now we come to second one. Now take the example here. Same example what we are taking here. Now this example, as I have given you the frequency here, same frequency I have taken here again. Now as I have given you earlier that we in the more than method, we start from the lower limit, right? Remember in the less than method we started from the upper limit. Here we start from the lower limit. Now in this frequency distribution, in this class interval, what is the lower limit? Lower limit is 0. The minimum lower limit is 0. So how many are more than 0? We'll take, now this side we'll take now. Earlier we have taken this side, now we'll take this side. More than 0, 4. Now more than 10, 8. Here, right? Now this is given. This frequency is given. Now on the basis of more than, we are doing this. Cumulative frequency. More than 0 are how many? Now in this example, you see that more than 0 are total, all are more than 0. So obviously they are 60. And how do you get 60? By adding up all these. So more than 0 is 4 plus 8 plus 15 plus 20 plus 13. So this will give you the figure 60. This means more than 0 we have all 60 number of students. Then more than 10, when you are doing the more than 10 one, that means this category will be excluded, right? Because this is more than 0 but it is less than 10. 4 is less than 10. More than 10 here in this case, there will be 8, 15, 20 and 13. All these are more than 10 but not this one, it is between 0 to 10. So what we'll do, we'll not add this one, we'll exclude this one, we'll add up this one, 8, 15, 20 and 13, we'll get 56. Another way is subtract 4 out of 60 and get 56. Same way, out of 56, subtract 8, get 48. Next one, subtract this, get this one. Or the other way, you keep on adding like this. So this way, CF is formed on the basis of more than method. So in this again, I'll repeat, we start with the lower limit, as I have taken the lower limit of 0. It may be 10 also if the lower limit is given 10 to 20, the first class interval. In that case, the lower limit will be 10. So we start with the lower limits of the classes, and from the frequencies we subtract the frequencies of each class. So this way we calculate the more than method. So cumulative frequency can be formed in two ways, less than and more than, and it is a very simple calculation. You just have to follow the step according to the given definition of particular method. Clear? Now another thing, what I want to tell you here is that when we are calculating less than and more than, then sometime we need to calculate the percentage of less than and more than. According to our requirement, sometimes we need to calculate the percentage. Now we'll come to the percentage method of calculating cumulative frequency. So in the percentage frequency distribution, we'll take another example over here to explain how to calculate the percentage frequency. Now here in the percentage frequency distribution or calculating frequency or the percentage basis, CF is taken as percentage of total number of frequency. What is CF? That is cumulative frequency. So cumulative frequency is taken as percentage of total number of frequencies. Now we'll take the example. Suppose daily wages of workers are like this: 90, 100, 110, 120 and 130. This is in rupees. You can write down here in rupees, daily wages are this much, right? Now number of workers, how many are more than this and how many are less than this? Suppose this data is given to you in the more than and less than form. And how did you get more than less than? As I told you earlier, on the basis of calculating upper limits and lower limits. So in this way, this is the data given. Now in the percentage basis, you have to calculate this less than frequency and more than on the basis of percentage of total frequency. Now what is the total frequency? Total is 20 here, That means total number of frequency is 20. Total workers are 20, and between 0 to 20 these many workers, obviously not 0 but between 1 to 20 this many workers are getting the wages according to this data. Now how to calculate the percentage? This is another column, earning specified or more, earning specified or less. Now specified is this much, and how many are getting more? On the basis of percentage you have to calculate. Now here more is 20, that means rupees 90, how many workers are earning? 20. So all 20 workers are above rupees 90 as a daily wage. Now what is the total number of percentage then? This will be 20, this 20 given to you divided by 20, that is the total number, into 100, and you will get 100 here. This means that 100% workers are getting more than 90. Nobody is getting less than 90. So all 20 are earning more than rupees 90 as a daily wage. Now second is 100, how many are earning? 15. Now what is the total percentage of this? 15 upon 20 into 100, that means 75% workers are earning more than 100. Clear? So this way the percentage is being calculated. Third is 6 upon 20 into 100, 30% workers are earning more than 110. Similarly here 3 upon 20 into 100, 15% workers are earning more than 120. And here it is 0, that means nobody is earning more than 130. This is clear? So this way the percentage of more than frequencies are taken here, right? Earning specified or more. Now again this is less than given over here. The frequencies in the less than form is given in the third column. Now either here you are earning specified or less. Here in the last column you are finding out the percentage of less or specified or less than that. Now this 90, less than 90 nobody is getting, so this is 0, and here we will get 0 here. 100, how many are getting less than 100? These are 5. 5 workers are earning less than 100 rupees as a daily wage. So what is the percentage then? Out of 20, 5 are earning less than, that means 5 upon 20 into 100, that means 25 workers, 25% of workers are earning less than rupees 100 as a daily wage. Similarly, next is 14, 14 upon 20 into 100, 70% workers are earning less than 110. So this way the upper limit is given here and you calculate the percentage. Last one is 20 are earning less than 130, that means 130 is the upper limit, all are earning below 130. So 20, all 20 are in the category of upper limit of 130. So here 20 upon 20 into 100, that means 100% workers are earning less than 130 because 130 is the upper limit. So in this way the percentage of total frequency of less than and more than is taken out. And why to calculate this percentage? As I told you, you will be needing this type of calculations when you are calculating averages or you are drawing the frequency graphs. So this way I told you what are cumulative frequencies, right? And main thing is here that less than method and more than method, these two methods you have to follow, for which I have given you the example, and I think now you are able to calculate it yourself that how to get the less than and more than frequencies. And in your lecture you will find some assignment given. In that assignment some questions will be given to you, and those questions you are supposed to calculate on this basis only, to calculate the cumulative frequencies, right. So, this way this part of organization of data is complete over here, rather you can say this chapter is completed now, and now we will be moving. Next time, in the next lecture, I will explain to you what are the different ways to present the data. So, children, in the next chapter I will be telling you about the presentation of data and the ways how to present the classified and organized data in the form of graphs and tables. That will be a very interesting part of your syllabus, and be ready to learn more and more about this. Okay? Wish you all best of luck. Thank you very much.